Dear students, in this session we'll learn fluid kinematics, a branch of fluid mechanics which deals with motion of fluids. We know that kinematic deals with study of motion, whereas fluid kinematics is the study of fluid flow and its description. Fluid kinematic deals with describing the motion of fluids without considering the forces and moments that cause motion, whereas fluid dynamics deals with the motion of fluids considering the forces and moments that cause the motion. There are two ways to describe a fluid motion. The first one is Lagrangian description, the other one is Eulerian description. Take an example of a ball on a pool table which collides with another ball or with a wall. With the help of Newton's laws, we can describe the motion of such objects that we can predict where they go and how momentum and kinetic energy are exchanged from one object to the other. Kinematics involves keeping track of the position vector and also the velocity vector of each object as a function of time. When this approach is applied to a flowing fluid, we call that as Lagrangian description. It is very similar to the system analysis that we deal in thermodynamics. We consider a fixed mass and we consider that as a system and use it for the study. Eulerian description uses a finite volume or a control volume approach. In a control volume, we consider that a fluid enters into the control volume and leaves the control volume. In this case, we do not keep track of position and velocity of particles of any fixed identity. Instead, we keep track of all the particles at a particular point. We call that as control surface. Instead, we define the field variables, that is functions of space and time, within the control volume. For example, pressure in an unsteady three-dimensional flow is represented as a function of the three Cartesian coordinates, that is x, y and z, and also time. Similarly, velocity and accelerations can be expressed as functions of space and time. This is done for all the points in a control volume. If you look at the sketch, Lagrangian method identifies the path, that is the position and the velocity vector of each and every particle that flows through the system, whereas Eulerian method uses a control surface or a section, that is 1 which takes care of all the properties of the particle which passes through it. To elaborate more on Lagrangian and Eulerian approaches, Lagrangian description keeps track of position and velocity of individual particles. From a microscopic point of view, a fluid is composed of billions of molecules that are continuously colliding with one another. But following even a small number of these molecules is quite difficult even with our fastest computers. But there are many practical applications of this description, such as keeping track of passive scalars in a flow and also rarefied gas dynamics calculations, which involves the re-entry of a spaceship into the Earth's atmosphere, and also in the development of flow measuring system based on particle imaging techniques. However, Eulerian description defines field variables such as pressure field and also velocity field at any location and instant in time. Most of the experimental measurements are generally more suited to use the Eulerian description. For example, in a wind tunnel, velocity and pressure probes are usually placed at a fixed location in the flow, measuring the velocity and pressure. However, in case of Lagrangian description, we can find the motion of a particle using Newton's second law, which is very well defined. But in case of Eulerian description, we have to derive the equations of motion for a fluid particle. Concluding, Eulerian description is more convenient for fluid mechanics application. Let us look into the types of fluid flow: steady flow and unsteady flow, uniform flow and non-uniform flow, 1, 2 and 3 dimensional flows, compressible and incompressible flow, ideal and real flow, laminar and turbulent flow, rotational and irrotational flow. Steady flow and unsteady flow. A fluid flow is said to be steady if at any given point in a flowing fluid, different characteristics such as velocity or pressure, density or temperature, which describe the behavior of the fluid in motion, do not change with time. At any given point, the variation of properties, so u, v and w, are the components of velocity in x, y and z directions respectively, and their change with respect to time is 0, and also change in density with respect to time is 0, change in pressure with respect to time is equal to 0 at any given point. Unsteady flow. A flow is said to be unsteady when at any given point in a flowing fluid, any one or all the characteristics which describe the behavior of fluid in motion change with time. Hence, at a point, the velocity field variable will not vary with time, and also pressure does not vary with time at a given point. Uniform flow and non-uniform flow. Uniform flow, it is when velocity of flow of fluid does not change both in magnitude and direction from one point to another for any given instant of time. This can be observed in a non-viscous flow between two parallel plates, wherein each and every point within the flow domain will have the same magnitude and direction of velocity. Mathematically, it is day by v divided by day by s is equal to 0. V refers to the velocity and s for the space. Non-uniform flow. If the velocity of flow of fluid changes from one point to another at any given instant of time, that is non-uniform flow. This can be observed in a converging flow wherein the inlet is of different size than the outlet, and because of the shape, the inlet, and in this case will have a larger end which has smaller value of velocity, whereas and also the direction changes as it proceeds from inlet to the outlet, and since the outlet is smaller, the particles will emerge at higher velocity. This can be proved later by law of conservation of mass or continuity equation. We can quote some examples. For a steady uniform flow of fluid through a very long pipe of constant diameter at constant rate of flow through a tapering pipe at a constant rate. Tapering pipe gives you non-uniform flow and constant flow rate gives the steady flow. Unsteady uniform flow through a long pipe of constant diameter at either increasing or decreasing flow rate. Unsteady non-uniform flow can be observed in a flow through a tapering pipe at either increasing or decreasing flow rate. 1, 2 and 3 dimensional flows. In one dimensional flow, various characteristics of fluid flow are functions of only one of the dimensions and time. In case of Cartesian coordinate systems, 3 dimensions are x, y and z. If you consider mathematical expression of one dimensional flow for an unsteady flow, velocity or any other parameter is a function of x, one coordinate direction and time. For a steady flow, since velocity or any other parameter is not a function of time, v is a function of x only. One of the best examples is flow between parallel plates, two parallel plates. That flow should be non-viscous. If there is a viscous flow, there will be boundary effects which leads to change in velocity at the boundaries. And also another example is incompressible flow in a duct, or you can take an example of even compressible flow in case of a gas flow, that is in nozzle. Two-dimensional flow, these various characteristics are functions of any two of the dimensions and also time. If you take an example of a large pipe flow of uniform section, velocity through the pipe can vary along the radial direction and also in case of longitudinal direction or axial direction. In this case, v is a function of both x and y dimensions or direct coordinate directions and time. For steady flow, it is not a function of time, it is, so v is f of xy. The viscous flow between two parallel plates can also be an example for two-dimensional flow. Three-dimensional flow, various characteristics of this flowing fluid are functions of all the coordinate directions and time. If you take an example of flow in a river or flow within a turbo machine or flow at an inlet to a nozzle, all the parameters changes at different points and also with respect to time. V is a function of x, y and z and also t for unsteady flow. But for steady flow, V is a function of x, y and z. Compressible and incompressible flow. In compressible flow, the changes in density due to pressure and temperature variations are significant in the flow field. They can see large variations in density as the fluid flows. Example, flow of air in a ventilation system or flow of gas. In incompressible flow, the changes in density due to pressure and temperature variations are insignificant in the flow field. Almost all liquid flows are considered to be incompressible because their density changes are negligible. Ideal and real flow. Ideal flow is one which is non-viscous, that is without any friction, so that there is no shear stress between the adjacent layers. Real flow is one in which fluid is viscous, That means there exists some friction between the layers and also shear stresses. Laminar and turbulent flows. In laminar flow, all the fluid particles move in layers and with one layer of fluid sliding smoothly over an adjacent layer. These are also called as streamline flows or viscous flow. This is because viscous forces dominate over inertial forces in the flow of fluid. This will be elaborated more when we discuss dimensionless numbers, particularly Reynolds number. Example of flow through small pipes at very low velocities. You can observe the fluid motion in parallel layers. A turbulent flow is one when the fluid particles move in a disorderly manner that results in rapid and continuous mixing of the fluid, leading to momentum transfer as the flow occurs. As observed in the sketch, there are turbulences or eddy currents within the flow. Examples: flow in natural streams, artificial channels, water supply pipes or sewers, etc. Rotational and irrotational flow. A rotational flow is one in which fluid particles during their motion rotate about their mass centers. Liquid in a rotating tank is a very good example for rotational flow. You can observe the sketch. The element AB is rotated about its mass center during the rotational flow. Irrotational flow is one if the fluid particles during their motion do not rotate about their mass centers.